But what makes the task bananas is... Dude, Bats, please. He actually does a lot of frame-perfect punching, so it's frame-perfect slow-zoom punching. And... I will never be that good at this game. I will never be good at any game to be able to do shit like that. I'm sorry, like, I'm not that good. I am not that skilled in video games to be able to do that. But essentially it's, so slow, zoom, Red Hot 100, but what he's doing is boom, 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 boom. So every time, he's gonna be zoomed in, but every single time that the fist is just about to connect with the enemy, he hits slow. So, he's getting the speed of Red Hot 100 and combining it with the sheer power of slow zoom punch. And he is able to destroy everything and just take that ability along with a ridiculous combination of sliding and Red Hot kick and then optimized movement with the VFX meter. And I will never be able to do that. I can't. So, but that's the task. So again, so slow zoom punching, standard, and boom, 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 boom. So when you see me pump like this, the reason is more often than not, I can actually land a lot of slow zoom punches with higher speed. So I could take down. Actually, I could show you. Hang on. I could show you the difference, and hopefully you'll see. Hang on. The choppers are the perfect thing to show this off on, because this is where I initially applied the TAS, and I was like, oh my god, it actually works. So, but in my case, I only need zoom, because zoom punching is strong enough to take down the weakest enemies in the game pretty easily. Like, I don't need to use slow. One of the things that always makes me laugh is when I saw complaints about the speedrun for this game where all I do is spam boomerangs and slow. I was like, okay, well that's great. I mean, you don't want to be using slow. You don't want to be using it all the time. I mean, it's going to slow you down. There's no reason to put, tons of power behind your punches if you can take an enemy out with a couple weak punches. But anyway. Oh yeah, now the bus goes over. Fuck you. Alright, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take this chopper down. I'm not going to use fast fuse. I'm going to do standard slow zoom, Red Hot 100, okay? Keep an eye on the damage.
Just go for it!
Okay, now I'm pretty much out of VFX meter, right? Just about out. And the key thing is that I needed the chopper to land on the ground, so I'm going to have to get the chopper on the ground first, and then I can start pumping. So I'm about to finish it off, and I'm just about out of VFX, alright? Let's try this again. Need to land. Done. So I finished it before I was even close to running out. It may not seem like a significant difference, but combine that with the fact that I have fast fuse working against the chopper, I could take it down a lot faster. It's just faster to pump it out. And it's also a very fast strategy against cases where you need to use invincibility from slow dodging and invincibility from taking a hit. So against Grand Bruce in particular, Grand Bruce, it really comes in handy. But pumping, for me, while it's not necessarily 100% accurate, I am more often than not going to get more damage out of pumping than I am just standing there doing this. But then there are some cases where it's better to do this than pump, like another Joe, for example. If I actually miss these hits against another Joe, so if I'm doing this and I accidentally, I don't know, I hit him with a standard a standard Red Hot 100 punch and then 4 slow zoom Red Hot 100 punches, what'll end up happening is he'll spin kick away from me, and I won't get enough damage in to take him down for his first health bar. So I'm running into the risk of sending another Joe away a lot earlier than I really should be. So it's actually safer for me to do this. Now you might be thinking, you know, well, I guess you have to learn how to do frame-perfect Red Hot 100 punches. Maybe that's what you're thinking. If you are, by all means, go right ahead. That is not going to be for me, but that's just an explanation behind the task and what you might see in it, along with some ludicrous movement around sliding and Red Hot kick. So, do I pump with the C stick or B? You don't actually need to pump with the C stick or B with zoom. Once you're zoomed in, you're zoomed in. I actually pump with slow. So, just the left trigger in this case.
Move on. Just go for it.
No, that's fine. If you didn't notice, you didn't notice, but the other thing about the task is that there's some stun movement that I'm actually very curious about. So he does some peculiar stun movement where he's actually able to take out enemies before they can even complete like a single cycle. And it's very interesting to watch. I never did ask him about that, because that could come in handy if I'm able to accomplish that. And that actually could be a game breaker too. It's doable, but good luck getting consistency out of it. That's all I'm gonna say. And you'd have to do it, yes, every time you slow zoom and punch, you'd have to do it. So think about that for a second. Every time you've seen me slow zoom punch in this run, I would have to do it there. Do you think that is practical? I do not. I am not that skilled. Maybe somebody out there is. I will never be that good. Nor do I care to be that good. A little too far to the right. Oopsies. There we go. Fuck. Yeah, I mean, I'm not doubting it can be done. I'm just saying, like... Ugh. What if I tried to do it on certain enemies? I do it on certain enemies, actually, on Ultra V-rated. I don't do it on Kids mode, because most enemies on Kids mode... So think about it. I do it against the Harrier. I do it against the Harriers when I can. I do it against the Choppers. I do it against Grand Bruce. I don't do it against Fire Leo because single hits are they're a big fucking deal. At least from what I know of. I don't do it on another Joe. I have done it before, but it's very inconsistent for me. Where else? But really... See, there are some other implications, too. So if you release slow, like against the Rosettas, for example, so the tall pink women, if you release against them, what can end up happening sometimes is you'll knock their shield off, you punch them one time, but they take more than one single Red Hot 100 punch. So what'll end up happening is you'll punch the shield, you'll punch them, but they'll get a hard knockdown away from you, and it's a waste of time trying to track them down. So in that case, it's a little faster to hold slow, hold Red Hot 100, and just take them down right there and then. So... But yeah, on kids mode, there really is no reason for it. Like, you can get away with just doing standard zoom for the most part. I mean, I guess you could do... Could probably do it against the Cromarties, now that I think about it, but that's really about it. But the key thing, the key time savers that he uses are against the bosses, and all I could say is just watch. If you haven't seen the task, just give it a watch. It's very silly. It's a good watch, though. And the guy who made it's a good guy, so...
Move on!
I hate this run. I'm sorry to hear that. I like this run when there's no timer attached to it. It's just fun to play through, but the moment there's a timer attached to it, I fucking hate it, because I know what luck is just, like, wound up in it. 369, it's pretty good.
Just go for it!
My execution's actually pretty goddamn good tonight. Like, real talk.
Brakes have been activated. Repeat, the emergency brakes have been
Oh wow, that looks like it hurts.
Thank goodness.
Move on! Just go for it!
Oh, that was cute. This is silly. Zoom in spin kick is, I believe, completely invincible. It's okay. So there's a couple things about that. Hang on. Hang tight. Here. Invincible. Invincible. There we go. Right. Okay, so the zoom spin kick is actually invincible to projectiles and elemental attacks like fire, electricity, that sort of thing. I believe there's one exception, and I think that's the one exception is the whatchamacallits, the electric barriers from Chapter 3 in particular. Please stop. But yeah, I can just chill here and I'm good to go. If you want complete invincibility and safety, though, slow zoom kick will do you good. So, I believe this works in the lava. Hang on. Maybe it doesn't. Yeah, there you go. Oh, never mind. Okay, it doesn't work in the lava. So, lava's one place it doesn't work, so.
Ready? Action.
But, that's right, I did check it out before, but for the most, so you're not completely invincible, but if you're hanging out in the lava, testing it out anyway, you're probably not playing the game correctly, so. But it is invincible against most things, like Fire Leo's charge, for example. So if Fire Leo is running into you, you can actually seriously slow zoom Red Hot Kick, and he can't touch you. So as long as you keep mashing it, you should be okay. Oh, shit. If you get the right angle, you can actually just up-dodge that, but I couldn't do it there. The one thing about slow zoom kick, though, that you need to be aware of is... Hang on. Alistair's being a dick. Anyway.
Nothing personal, but is it number 1 or number 2?
The one thing you actually need to be careful of with the slow zoom kick is... I'm sorry, with the standard zoom kick is make sure that you're not kicking a shield or kicking... like an enemy with a shield, or kicking an object that will actually cause you to stun. So, like this is an object that... This is not an object that will cause you to stun. So, in this case, I can continue kicking. If I went up to the, like, take the bomb walls in Chapter 2, for example, or Alistair's shield. If I tried to just do a standard zoom kick, he would actually block me, and that would send me into stun. So you would be exposed, which is not good. And that's why I say slow is usually the way to go if you're worried about invincibility. This is a last resort dodging mechanic as far as I'm concerned. If you have the VFX to, if you're in a trap position and you think you have enough VFX to like outperform an attack or just wait it out, slow zoom kick is the way to go. It's a last, like I said, last resort, but it can get you out of a bad situation. But that's just me. It's kind of funny that Alistair's like the perfect fight to show this. And by the way, make sure that you use zoom on everything in regards to like Alistair landing in the lava. So hang on. Ow. So, that is slow. I don't want to show it now, hang on. That's the other thing that people don't realize about this game when it comes to, using zoom. It's like, okay, if you use zoom, then only use it on your punching. It's like, no, use it on everything. Everything. Use it on fucking bullets, use it on Alistair, use it on, like, if they're going into the lava, like, okay, so, like, this is, take a look at his health, it's around 3/4 full, I'm only gonna use slow, right? Okay, so he lost 3/4 of his health from that. So now he has about half a bar, right? Why wouldn't you? Well, because just it's easy to forget. See if I can get Alistair to fall in the lava here. Oh, that should do it. Okay.
Nothing
Now
personal.
take a look at his health
Is it
bar. He
number
has
one
half a
or
health
number
bar,
two?
right? Look
Nothing
how much
personal,
health he
but is
lost.
it number
So he
one
lost
or number
about,
two?
give or take, a full bar and a quarter. And that's the difference. So 3/4 of a bar versus a bar and probably a little less than a quarter. So using slow zoom versus using slow is a very different story. And that's where the 1.5 times stack damage comes into
Nothing
play. So
personal,
when you
but is
when
it
you
number one
use
or
zoom,
number two?
you get a 1.5 times multiplier to all your attacks. So it's like that. Well, like I said, it's not natural though to use it. So it's one of those things where it's like you get zoom and you think you're only going to use it in like extreme situations, but really with the way the game, the execution rolls, you actually want to be using all the buttons that you can as much as possible. Like, okay,
Nothing personal.
and notice
but
that was
is
a
it
case of
number
me
one or
not
number
using
two?
slow zoom kick. I just used zoom kick. Alistair was able to block, and it forced me into stun. And once more, he's at about a
Nothing
quarter
personal,
health.
but is it number one or number two?
Look how much damage that does. Like, that's the difference right there. That would have been really cool if I stopped it right above him, but... Bitch. But yeah, I mean, that's just some of the shit in this game that's like, it's not really thought about often, but it can really help you if you're just kind of getting into the groove of things still. And, Mickey, if any that's worth a damn to you, great. If it's not, then, you know, it's all good. So. Damn it. Vortex.
Cut! Ready? Action!
You have to do this properly. But like I said, it's stuff that you're not really going to think about until you really dive a bit deeper into the game, or you play it like more than once. Because the one thing, like, here's something fun for you. So when I was first playing this game, like the very first time I played it on adults against Fire Leo, and he kicked my fucking ass. Like, it was sad, because I had no idea what to do. And for a long time, I honestly thought the way to beat him was just to, like, spam uppercuts and run away. And I have seen that strategy online. Like, people would upload that on YouTube or something like that, where they would spam uppercuts and run away. And it's like, man, all you gotta do is, you know, pay attention to the mark. And then eventually, once you sit back and think about what needs to be done, you can get some major work done. And that's how this game works to me, anyways. Like, you sit down and think about all the powers they throw at you. They don't necessarily explain the damage output, but they give you an idea that, like, zoom is fucking powerful. Stack it with slow, you got some fucking power going. And you can get some major damage done with this game. Gives a chance for pumping, right? I need the juice here, got it. And got him. So that's a case we're doing against Grand Bruce is perfect, because I take the hit intentionally, I do the slow dodge, and then I use about the approximately 2 3/4 seconds. It's a little less than 3 seconds. I use that invincibility to push through his last offense or last defense, and then I can take him down. So like that's a case where pumping actually comes more in handy because I have a higher chance of taking him down with a lower amount of VFX if I pump versus trying to hold it and finish him off.
Move on.
But yeah, like, let me see if I can emulate my experience with Fire Leo originally. So, like, this is honestly how it went, like, from my memory. Like, that is an actual honest experience of how it went for me, and I was like, what the fuck do I do? I was like, okay, well, okay, I think I figured it out, so now I gotta do this, now what? I'm like, oh, I gets rid of his shield. Like, okay, so now what do I do? Like, so let's take down his shield. And I was like, oh god. And then I ran away. And then he did it again. And I was like, okay, I'm just gonna punch him. And then I duck, and then I'd run away. And like, this is what I would do to actually chip down Fire Leo. I swear to god, this is what I did when I first played this game. Like, many, many years ago. And I would just, and the best part was that the solution was right in front of me. And I just couldn't see it. Like, I didn't understand that I actually would have to do that. And then it got to the point where I was like, okay, wait. And this is where I actually figured out that the spin kick was very powerful. I actually did this. I stood here, and I just kicked him. I waited, and then I ran away. He went back into the lava, and I chipped him away. And that is how my Fire Leo experience was. I swear to God. Like, that's how I took him down. And you go from that to this. But, like, that was an honest experience of how I dealt with Fire Leo. Like, it's crazy. And I really had no idea what the fuck I was doing. And I got destroyed. So, it's if I see somebody get discouraged with this game, and then, or if I've gone into other streams of people playing this game, they're like, "Oh man, you're here. Now I feel like I suck." I'm like, dude, we've all sucked. I've sucked. Like, Seriously, you should have seen when I first picked this game up. I was fucking trash. And, like, I still make dumb mistakes in this game to this day. And it's like any game, you know, you're not going to be perfect. And if it's your first time through it, or if it's the first time that you played it in a long time, nobody's going to expect perfection. And, I seriously, like, it was crazy. Like, you think about how different it is now versus how it was back then, and it's crazy, man. It's something else. Because there was some other stuff too, I think. Grand Bruce was Grand Bruce is a boss that I actually feared for the longest time, because he was a regen health boss, and I couldn't figure out how to deal with the water. Because when Grand Bruce raises the water on any difficulty, even kids mode, he is a force to be reckoned with. He is a fast motherfucker. Like, he is ridiculously fucking fast on any difficulty when the water's up. You run the fuck away from him. You either get him on a bomb, or you just run the fuck away, because he will chomp your ass down. Grand Bruce? Oh yeah, Grand Bruce regens, dude. If you give him the chance, especially on Ultra V rated, he will get full health bars back if you don't rush him down. When Grand Bruce is underwater, he constantly recovers health. It's very slight, but he recovers health. But if you give him the chance to breathe underwater, you know what I mean. So he's breathing. He's just trying to catch his breath, I guess, whatever it would be for him. If he does that, like, he will just get chunks of health back, and it's infuriating. But yeah, you can actually counter it with a boomerang. So the thing about Brucey is that what you can do is, if he's about to chomp you, you could spam boomerangs for a bit, and then the moment that he actually turns around to shoot his rotor at you, you can charge him. Essentially, you can charge him after the rotor and reset the infinite. So, like, there's a few ways you can actually do infinite resets in this, which is kind of silly. But here, let's do an example. Williams, are you talking about Bruce, or who are you talking about in particular? We gotta take two just in case. After the dodging, he's stunned. You're doing a downward red hot kick, and then you're doing a red hot one. Oh, okay. So the old strategy was at least with the speed run on kids mode, it was a slow zoom red hot kick into red hot 100. The problem with that strategy, though, is that it was very, very luck dependent. So you needed him to attack at least 3 times high, and if he did not do that, that was a run ender. Because you needed to be able to uppercut chip damage him to the point where he had about, I think, 3 or 4 bars of health left. That was the old strategy. With the new strategy, what you do is you dodge all 5 attacks, you throw a boomerang, you turn around, you jump up, and then right when your feet are about at his chest, you zoom stomp. Because if you do a short jump followed by a stomp or a zoom at that point, you'll actually stomp right away, which is what you want. Because that's another thing that's understood about, or misunderstood about this game. One of the complaints that I saw, which is a fair complaint, I would say, was around the zoom stomping feature. So people were complaining that it's like, why does Joe stomp all the time? I don't want to do that. The reason Joe stomps, at least from what I've seen, Joe will only stomp when he's like near the top of his jump. So if you do like, so I'll do a full jump here, and I can zoom in just fine, he won't stomp. When you're at the peak of the jump, though, that's when he'll stomp. And that's one thing that's not really, I guess, understood when most people play this game. So when you do a short hop, in the case of the Fire Leo fight, what I do is a short hop, so the peak of my jump is lower, and then since the peak of my jump is lower, I can pull out a zoom stomp a lot easier. So, like so. Versus if I wanted to do it that way, see, I can mash it and I still can't even get it out. But yeah, that's an often misunderstood aspect of zoom jumping. So, but what you might have seen me do in the past is, and I've used this for Captain Blue in particular, and that's one of the big advantages of Captain Blue, is he has a single jump, right? He has a single jump, but that single jump is actually much higher than the single jumps for every other character. But one trick you can do with Joe is you do a single jump, you zoom in, and then at the peak of the jump, you jump again. So the reason you would do that is the height, I believe, anyway. Let's take a look here. Let's try to use a point of reference. That's not good. Right about there. Okay, so his feet, like, so if you look at the pillar to the right that's spilling the purple liquid, his feet essentially are at the surface, the top surface of that platform, right? Now if I zoom...
Make sure you flush the toilet.
Notice that the height isn't quite there. It's a little bit lower. It's hard to see, but you don't get the same height out of a zoom jump than you do from a standard jump. And the thing about Captain Blue, or actually in this case, so what you'll see me do sometimes is, if I want to try to get a lot of height, but then I want to have the good second zoom jump as well, so I can have the attack behind it, you'll see me jump, and then zoom jump on top of it. And I'm able to do that because I understand that, okay, if I hit zoom slightly before the peak of Joe's first jump, I can actually pull out a second zoom jump without worrying about stomping. And if that sounds like a clusterfuck, essentially what I'm referring to is this. So jump, zoom, before I, stomp, and then jump again. So I have the ability to get that zoom hit out of it. You're not going to get a lot of uses out of that. You get it mostly out like against bats or something like that, but really, it is what it is. But if I tried to do that normally, it'd be like, but then I can't see where I'm going. So, at least with this, I have a little bit more control over where I'm going. Because the other aspect about zoom jumping is that you're stuck in diagonals. So, this gives me a little bit more control over my horizontal. So, but anyway. Anywho. But the thing about that trick, though, and for Captain Blue anyway, what you could do is take advantage of the fact that you can actually do a second zoom jump after your initial first jump, right? So you go 1, 2. 1, 2. Hit the peak of my jump early there. 1, 2. 1, 2. You can actually do that with Captain Blue, because for some reason they didn't remove that feature in the game, which I guess, I don't know, that was just an oversight. But when you zoom in with Captain Blue, how it works with Captain Blue's zoom jumps is that Blue, his zoom jump height is the same as Joe's, Alistair's, and Sylvia's. So it's 1, 2. So if you're playing as Captain Blue, you will always get this 1, 2 standard jumping. So his single jump doesn't have the same properties as his zoom jump. But as a result of that, what you can do is take advantage. So you'll do a single long jump followed by a slow zoom jump. So you'll get the height of a triple jump, essentially. So Captain Blue is ludicrous. Like, you can get a lot of height out of it. In fact, the height is so great, and with his hovering ability, I can actually get all of these reels before the fight even starts. So it's pretty cool. It's neat little tricks associated with each character. It's stuff that you're not necessarily going to use all the time, but it is what it is. 60 reels for this section. Let's see what we can do here. Pretty wide, dude, the guy. Pretty wide. Well, dude, don't be a dick. And you'll also see me like do Zoom Stomp. Zoom Stomping stacked with Red Hot 100 does major fucking damage. Especially if you get an enemy that actually sticks around for it. The only downside is that you're not going to get any V points for it. It's just, you don't, because you don't get V points for it, you get 20 V points for every single Slow Zoom Red Hot 100 punch. And in the case of going for ranks, that's a problem. Like, you can't, you know, you can't be dealing with that shit. Ooh, watch. So of all the reels now, what we'll do is we'll knock him out of the sky. You do not get V points for boomerangs, needless to say. I actually have the PS2 version of this game. I have played as Dante. Dante is a very different ball game than the other characters in this game. I would argue that from a speedrun perspective and from a practical perspective, he's actually the most technical character to play as in the game. Which is kind of funny, I would say. Perfect rank. Yeah. Yeah, I got the PS2 version and GameCube version of Beautiful Joe 1 and 2. So, I don't think Beautiful Joe 2 has any differences, besides probably lower frame rates, but that's really about it. That's the issue I have with the PS2 version. The port is kind of, it's not great. Slower load times, which I don't even care about the speedrun perspective, I just care about that from a patience perspective. The fact that the GameCube version, the original version, is superior in that regard. That's a little silly, but anyway. Oh, Hulk. You silly banana. Ten reels behind. Go ahead and grab those. Scary. I don't want to be standing there. Swing at me. Yep. This is actually one of the best fights to be in a corner, believe it or not. Because Hulk is so large, his giant hitbox after the swing will actually push you away. So you don't want that. You want to be as close as possible to maximize your damage. So getting shoved into a corner is actually the way to go. He's gonna swing. And just remember for this fight too, the loud ringing sound. That. You heard that really quickly. That loud ringing. I don't get that there. Literally inside of him. I gotta make sure I don't get hit. I'm not gonna take any chances here. Get his body away from the fucking area. Yeah, so the reason I rush him down there is mostly to ensure that, I want to make sure he doesn't start firing missiles at me. The missiles are the last fucking thing that I want. He's gonna swing. And he's gonna charge. That should be a swing. Not quite, he wasn't turned around. I hit him at the last second before I gave him a chance to swing, so that was good. Turned out well. Decent fight. Alright, so for Bruce, so the way that I usually do the Rainbow V is trap him in an infinite loop, but I will try to show how to trap him in it if you actually screw it up, and I certainly have done it, so there are ways to deal with him. Notice I have a full reel set here. There are also 10 reels in the wall above me. There we go. So let's do this. So this is the standard loop to start off. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Also works. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 5 through 7 punches is pretty standard. You should be able to do it just fine. Okay, now let's say I actually screw up, run in by accident, and he runs away. Okay? He's going to raise the water on me. I did not do anywhere near enough damage, and take a look at his health. He's getting all that shit back. Oh, wow, that was random. Okay, well, anyway. He might actually kill me here. Okay, so notice he's not getting really any health back. He's out of water. Now take a close look at his health bar as the water's up. Okay. Let him get to a bomb as soon as possible. Blow it up. So now he's going to bring out his rotor, right? That's fine. 2, 3, 4, 5. Now I'll go back into the rotor. 1, 2, 3, 4. Too far, but it's okay. What I can do is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Back off. And see, I could trap him right back into it. As long as he's above the water, I can trap him. And that's all that matters. The camera angle's not quite on my side, but I can still deal with him. And you can also deal with him as regular Joe. As long as you land 5 hits or so, you should be fine. So I can put him right back in that loop. And if I want, I can also dick around with him. Look at that health. Look at that shit. Don't let him recover. If you need to, fucking spam. You don't want to let him charge up? Fine, don't let him charge up. Now look, again, look when he's underwater, getting all of his health back. Don't let him get his health back. And I might die here. now he's getting his health back again. Don't let him get his health back. I cannot stress that enough. So now she bring up some bombs. So, not great positioning. That's okay. So what we'll do is we'll wait for him. That's okay. One thing I should note too,
Make sure you flush the
if
toilet.
he's breathing outside of water, it does more damage. Alright, let's finish this bitch off. Don't be afraid to approach his water jets either. When he's actually underwater and his water jet is fucking giant, the water jet itself won't hurt you. You'll only get hurt if you approach the the rotor, the closeness of the rotor itself, which is like, I don't know, a foot away from his back. So, when he's underwater, he's just using it to push you away from him, essentially. His health regen stops if you punch him in the middle of it. Just don't let him do it. So what you can do, like I said, spam boomerangs or go up and just start punching him. Just make sure that you fucking stop him, because he'll ruin everything if you give him the chance to heal. But that's Grand Bruce. He could be a tricky son of a bitch. I struggled with him for quite a bit because he was so fast and I didn't know how to lower the water at the time. But if you get him down, he's not too bad. Alright, how about another Joe? So another Joe's interesting. With this boss, I usually see a lot of people panic. There is no reason to panic around another Joe. Another Joe can be taken down with pressure. First things first, let's go ahead and get these reels. There are 10 reels in here. Okay.
Make sure you flush the
So
toilet.
here's a deal with another Joe. If you stand in the areas that have electric floors under them, this is one of them, and then the opposite side, of course, as well. So this has another electric floor under it. If you stay in these sides, like if you actually don't go to the other sections, so I'll show you where not to go and where not to stand, you'll have pretty much complete control of his positioning, or as much control as you can get your hands on. Dude, fuck him. So what you could do... Go away. If you stand in this position, or the position opposite of it, what'll end up happening is Joe will end up teleporting to the platform. So the way that the character is designed is that he'll stay in the platformed areas. If you stay here, you have chances of him going left or right and him getting away from you. The last thing that you want, if you're just going to beat this, you don't want him throwing Henshin a Go-Go or Henshin a Bye-Bye, or hell, even Six Machine. You cannot, you don't want to deal with that shit. So the best way to deal with another Joe is to put pressure on him. So what I'll do is, I'm going to stand in this area for the majority of this fight, and then if shit goes south, what I'm going to do, and actually I'll try to show it.
Make sure you flush
Punch.
the toilet.
After 5 hits, he'll do a spin kick. You could also do a
Make
slow
sure you
zoom
flush
red
the
hot kick,
toilet.
and that'll actually, that doesn't count as a hit. I don't understand why, but it doesn't. So let's see if we can do it here. So I said 5 hits, right?
Make
So we'll
sure
do
you flush
1,
the toilet.
2, 3, 4, 5.
Make sure you flush the toilet.
Oh wait, he didn't spin. I can get another hit in. But the fire counts as a hit. Okay, so now he got his clones out.
Make sure you flush
One of the
the
things that I
toilet.
see people do normally with this fight is panic. They're like, oh my god, the clones, what do I do? There's a simple solution. You have to
Make
stay
sure
above
you
the
flush
electric
the
areas,
toilet.
right? Run to the opposite side. This gives you all the room in the world to deal with his fucking clones. Oh no, please. Not bad. Plus you get a lot of free V points out of it. And damaging his clones does do damage to him too. So keep that. And that's it. I mean, that's all there is to it. So just keep pressure on him, and if he actually does get the images off, then run to the other side. And you'll have complete control over this fight. There really isn't much to it. Be careful if you get him into the air, if you launch him and then hit him. He'll usually follow up with Red Hot Kick. And then if you actually follow up with the if he follows up with a standard Red Hot Kick, and you punch him again. Let's see if he does it. Okay, he'll do that.
Make sure you flush the
So,
toilet.
what he'll actually do is he'll do his version of slow zoom Red Hot Kick, and that's fucking dangerous. You got to get out of there because it's a homing attack, and you can't do anything about it until it actually lands on screen like that. You run the fuck away from that, or you slow dodge. So, one of the other things I've done as well, I've explained this before. If you have Beautiful Forever,
Make sure you flush the toilet.
if you want to go for ranks in this fight, what you can do, you can spam Beautiful Forever 2, 4, 5. So what you can do is just dodge, do Beautiful Forever, get a free 50 points, and go from there. Or you can take out his clones. If one thing is going to fuck you up during this fight in regards to rank, it's fucking the V points more than anything. So, but yeah, let's look at this shit. I have near complete control over this guy. He can't do anything. And that's all you need to... It just takes pressure. That's all. Three, 4. Notice the fire counted as a hit. I should get fire off of this hit too, right about now. There we go. And that's another Joe. We really... And look at that. It's fucking Rainbow V rank. So... It's pressure. That's all. If you can keep the pressure on him, it's a piece of cake. I can't stress that enough. Hey, Zan.
Move on!
It's happening. And then Fire Leo is straightforward. I think the key thing really is to get the, understand the pitch that he throws out at you in regards to sound to know when he's going to attack. But another way to do it too, if you don't have access to audio, would be his left claw will always go low, and his right claw, or the claw that has his shield, will always go high. So low. Okay, so that's gonna go high.
Make sure you flush
That's
the
gonna go
toilet.
low.
Make
That's
sure
gonna go
you flush
high.
the toilet.
High. Low. 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 High. Low. High. 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 Oh. derp.
Make sure you flush
Low,
the
that's
toilet.
what I meant. I don't have my I
Make sure
don't have
you
my
flush the
TV very
toilet.
high right now. Let me turn up the volume of my TV so I can actually hear. Whoopsie doo. Oh, here's a
Make
fun
sure you
fact.
flush the toilet.
Because I got hit once, and that single hit brought me into Ukemi, if I can beat this, it should count as a no damage run. Low. 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 Sorry if you hear echo. I have my TV normally low, so you don't have to listen to echo coming from my mic. But, kind of needed to turn it up there, because now I could die, which would not be good. High. Low. High. Low. Low. Okay, so now that he
Make sure you
has
flush the toilet.
less than a bar and a half of health left, he's going to do his fast charge. And one
Make
more
sure you
thing
flush
too.
the toilet.
Notice the position that I'm actually standing at right now. Okay? The entire platform is on my left, and the spacing is on my right. You might not realize this, but there's a reason that I actually do this. Okay? The reason that I do this is so I can actually somewhat control Fire Leo's positioning after he lands. So after he's actually out of the lava, and he starts spitting fireballs at me, this will put him in a position 95% of the time where he won't jump back into the lava after I hit him. You don't want him standing on a ledge. It's one of the worst things that can happen in this fight. So this position matters. I may die here. Hi. 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 Yeah, we're done here. That should be a no damage run. And there you go. So, it's Ukemi. The mechanics of Ukemi along with Take-Two are a little weird. So despite the fact that I got hit, when I used the Take-Two, that single hit put me into a death state, but the Take-Two brought me back to life, so it gives me the properties of Ukemi, but it also counts technically as no damage, because that's just how the game works, so it's a little funky.
Joe has finally
But-
succeeded in foiling the evil Shadow's plot. Peace will return to Movieland. But a question still remains
There you go.
in Joe's
There's a
mind.
whole bunch of knowledge for you.
Were the evil ones permitted to get as far as that? What was their motivation? And how would he know that it would not happen again?
Yeah. With Brucey, I got wrecked, but that's okay. The thing about Brucey is that the V points will actually screw you up, unfortunately. That's another case where the second Bruce fight in particular will really screw up your ranking with the V points alone. Getting the boxes isn't enough, but it is what it is. But yeah, so lighting yourself up with Mach Speed is... It'll give you the fire aura, and then the fire aura will make you invincible to lava, and it'll make you invincible to fireballs. The thing about Mach Speed, which I would need to go back and check, but it's not a stacked build on Aura, meaning that if you have the Aura and you continuously Mach speed like a meteor, for example, in Leo's case, or the rocks that he throws at you, if you continuously Mach speed it, it won't reset the counter from what I've seen, or at least I haven't tested it out, and that's something that should be tested, because in Fire Leo's case, I almost died. I actually almost got fucking wrecked. If I had gotten hit, it would have been over, because his fireballs do 8 damage on Ultra V rated. So, and I had 5 HP, so do the math. But, yeah, I mean, it's interesting, though. So, like I said, that's some of the stuff that I know when it comes to the bosses, when it comes to their quirks. And that's why this chapter is considered one of the hardest in the game. Because the bosses themselves, when you don't know what you're doing and you're not familiar with their characteristics, they can throw everything and anything at you. And, I mean, they'll wreck your shit. I'm not even gonna... They wrecked my shit when I first played this game. So, and I still get wrecked from time to time. Because I make a mistake or get cocky or whatever the case may be. But, they'll fuck you up. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. They will fuck you up. And especially on Ultra V rated. So, but, I mean, they're not, you know, overbearingly difficult, but they will put up a fight. So, hopefully that helps if you're playing the game or planning on picking it up or whatever. But I can highlight this, sure. I'll highlight the whole thing. From, I think, Alistair to this whole chapter. That's not a big deal. So you guys can take a look at it. And I'll upload it to YouTube as well. I've been uploading shit to YouTube again. But yeah. In any case, I gotta hop off for the night. And, well, I'll probably be back on tomorrow, but I gotta bounce for now. So have a good evening, everybody.